This was gonna be a quiet girl video, but now that I have my mini mic, we'll see how quiet it really is. I have a confession today. It is in fact 1 in the morning also, because as I do things really last minute, and y'all, I'm really afraid that I did bad on my uni assignments. And I really don't know what to do anymore because it's already 1 a.m. and like I already turned everything in. So might as well turn everything in. Then it'd be late and me texting my professor like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Actually, I texted one, but it was for my internship and it was just a log. So hopefully she still accepts it. But I have a confession. I am a person who eats tuna. I am a person who eats tuna. I saw these on Pinterest and I will put the Pinterest picture just to show y'all how inaccurate they are on Pinterest. But I recreated these today and I'm going to eat them, but I'm not going to do an ASMR thing because personally I think that's disgusting. So I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to tell a story about how I was literally at Euphoria High. And I think it's absolutely hilarious when I see minority creators being like, this is so unrealistic, blah, blah, blah. Bitch, that shit is real. That shit is real. Maybe not all of it. Like that guy. Actually, no, that's real too. So I went to a predominantly white high school. People who will watch my videos and like know me from high school will be like, it wasn't even that bad. Bitch, it was bad. There was a guy at my school who had a Confederate flag on his car, and the school never said nothing about it. And there was minorities at this school. So if that don't explain enough, don't tell me, oh, it wasn't that bad. I'm gonna call him Larry. Larry, I used to know of him in middle school, and then he moved to California. And then Larry, he had like those aesthetic accounts. I don't even know how to fucking describe them. But like where they would just post like random girls that it was like King Kylie aesthetic. I don't even fucking know how to describe it. I'll try to put like a picture if I can about what it looks like, but like there was pages that did this a lot. So he had one of those accounts and he actually posted a girl from my high school on one of those accounts. And one of the girls from high school just knew him, and then he went to the high school I was supposed to go to, but then I moved. It was a whole thing. And then he moved to California. So one time I just like added him on Snapchat and we were talking, and I thought I was never gonna see him again. And then I find out that he's moving to my high school, and I got really scared because he knew all like not my darkest trauma, but like my second life. And I'm not gonna describe that. I'm not gonna go into depth about that, but he knew about my second life. Okay, that only few people know. Um, but basically, he asked me if I wanted to do tabs with him, and it was 7 a.m. It was 7 a.m. And I said, no, I don't want to do tabs with you. And he's like, meet me at the bus stop so I can give you some Adderall. It was 7 a.m. and he was like, it's going to help you focus more. I know you struggle with anxiety, blah, blah, blah. Do not take random drugs from like somebody from school that you are not close with, that's not your friend. That's just common sense. I'm not saying like Adderall is bad for you if it's prescribed from an actual doctor. So I did not take Adderall. I did not take Adderall, and he posted it on his Snapchat. He said, I just did 3 tabs of acid and paired it with Adderall. It was 7 a.m. And he was like, I'm just sitting in English class. I was like, what the fuck? Okay, and then the time, okay, this kid was sitting in the back of the room of a classroom. It was on somebody's Snapchat. It was not on mine. But there was this kid in the back corner of a classroom, of a math class, who did a line of cocaine while the teacher was doing her lecture. And then this wasn't that bad. But when Jewel was a thing and like it was like making people die or whatever, I don't know.
Who's Jewel?
What the fuck, man?
Do I know Jewel?
The fuck are we even talking about right now, bro?
Jewel.
The Jewel epidemic was very real and you just had to be there. So many people going to the bathroom to smoke their little jewels, like literally chain smoke a vape, that they had to close the restrooms for a period of time. And like I literally, guys, I literally could not piss. And it was crazy. And then like I would be like, why the fuck are the bathrooms closed? They're like, oh, a security has to walk with you to make sure you're not going into the big stall to hit a jewel. And I was just like, what the fuck? And people would make it so obvious too by going like in forwards and you could see your feet in the fucking like big ass stall. So yeah, that was another thing that was fucking crazy. Obviously there's like teacher parent relationship every high school, well at least in my high school, in the area that I lived in. The part of like euphoria where they used to use like nudes and stuff as trading cards, that shit was real. That shit was real. There were so many teenage boys that were so desensitized by like a woman, like a girl's body, that it was like literally disgusting. I never wanted to send anything, never wanted to do none of that because it was really terrifying. And like girls would literally be crying, literally want to like die and stuff. Because like that episode where like Cassie thinks about like taking a whole bottle of Tylenol, like that was very real. Like I knew some girls that had their stuff leaked, and some girls were like, I don't give a fuck, like who cares? Because life goes on or whatever. But other girls were really like depresso espresso, and they were really bad, and nobody did nothing about that. Like literally you couldn't do anything about that, and it would disappear. But yeah, teenage boys are so petty, like literally so petty. There's so many psycho boys at my school that like literally told their girls they were gonna unalive themselves. And when the girl would break up with them, they would expose everything. Literally anything the girl would send, it was there. But yeah, that was crazy. That was literally crazy. Perks, same thing. I knew so many guys. Like I even talked to guys that literally did perks, and it was crazy. And they did Xannies. Xan bars were scary as fuck. I don't know how. If you ever did Xans in like that period of time, how are you still like functioning? But yeah, that was the time I went to Euphoria High School. The dress code, like whenever you would wear a skimpy outfit, they always dress coded the girls that like were a little curvier than like girls who were built like a box, because they weren't like they were sexualizing girls who were curvier. So yeah, I know several girls that always started beef with like the person coding them and be like, "You never dress coded her," and it would be over the dumbest shit, you guys. Like it would be like there's like a hole on your pants that's a little too high on your thigh, and yeah, other girls would do the exact same thing or wear worse stuff, and they never got dress coded. So yeah, that was the time I went to Euphoria High School. Um, as per usual, this is a rotting girl channel, so these are these are gonna be my looks. I might try to do better, might not. I'm just lazy. I'm sorry, but hopefully you enjoyed this video of me ranting about my crazy life. Maybe I'll make more story times if I don't hate my voice in this. But yeah, um, subscribe so I can pay my law school debt off. Thank you.
I never had thoughts that control me until